In this video, we'll be talking about the pairwise comparison method. So what is pairwise comparison method? The pairwise comparison method, also known as the paired comparison method, is a valuable tool for ranking or choosing from a group of alternatives by comparing them in pairs. This method is widely used in various fields including decision making, voting, and studying people's preferences. So how pairwise comparison method works? So the process involves comparing each alternative against every other alternative in pairs. Essentially a head-to-head comparison. The decision maker then ranks the alternatives in each pair, determining which one is higher rank or if they are equally ranked. For example, imagine you're trying to choose the best vacation destination for your family. Instead of trying to rank all potential destinations at once, you can use pairwise comparison. You might prefer Disney World over San Francisco and Canon over Disney World. By comparing each destination against all other in pairs, you can gradually build an overall ranking and potentially identify an preferred choice.
Here's some example. Which candidate is preferred most often compared to other candidates? Candidate with most head-to-head wins is the winner. So the first blue line with numbers indicates the numbers of votes. So we have 4 candidates, A, B, C, and D. So first, we're gonna talk about 6 head-to-head comparison. We have A versus B, A versus C, A versus D, B versus C, B versus D, and C versus D. First, we will start with A versus B. The stars indicate the letter we compare with. So as you can see in the first column, A is greater than B and has 67 votes. In the second column, B is greater than A with A 47 votes, and so on. So head to head, how many votes A versus B gets? So B wins. If you look on the total, if you count the number of votes, B gets the higher votes. So A got 0 points and B got 1 point. So we continue on A versus C. We go through each column and compare. So A and C has 3 to 3 head-to-head counts. So if you count the total of votes, A wins because it gets the total of 156 over 114 votes. So at this point, A gets 1 point and C get 0 points. So now let's do A versus D. And now, let's do it again. A wins 4 head-to-heads and D gets 2 heads-to-heads. And count the number of votes. So A wins. They count the votes of 165 over 105. So A gets points and D gets 0 points. If who's the most head-to-head wins overall. Now, let's move on. Let's do B versus C. And we do the same thing. So in the first column, B gets higher than C. In the second column, B is higher than C. So B gets 45 votes and so on. B wins 169 over 101. B gets 1 point and C gets 0. Now, the B versus D. Same idea. B wins 181 to 89. B gets 1 point and D gets 0 point. C versus D. C wins. Again, D gets 0 and C gets 1 point. We can see the winner is candidate B. So here's the tally of points each candidate gets. So once you have done all 6 head-to-head, you awarded the points one by one. A get 2 head-to-head, B got 3 head-to-head, C gets 1 head-to-head, and D never gets head-to-head. Now you might notice this is a little bit tricky, but if you focus, you'll get the answer. So here's our word problem. Consider the preference schedule below, in which a company's advertising team is voting on 5 different advertising slogans, called A, B, C, and D. Here for simplicity, find a winner using Copeland's method. Here, let's use Copeland's method to see if we can find a winner in this selection. So we have a lot of comparisons to make here. Because we have 5 different candidates. So we're gonna have A versus B, A versus C, A versus D, A versus E, and B versus C, B versus D, B versus E, and we're gonna have C versus D, C versus E, and we're gonna have D versus E. So let's go ahead and look for our first comparison. So A versus B. We're looking to see who's ranked higher in the choices. So between B and A, B is ranked higher. Again, we total the most higher letter in each column. So B gets 9 and 11 for A. So A will be going the winner for the first comparison, and A gets 1 point. Next, let's compare A versus C. So A has 3 preferring A, 17 are preferring C, and so C is gonna get 1 point. So next, let's compare A versus D. Okay, here we have a tie between A and D. So both A and D are gonna get half a point for the tie. So now we continue doing this for each of our comparisons, and there are all of our comparisons. And so now, finally, we can look and see who's gonna win. So if we add up all the points that A's earned, A has earned 2.5 points, B has earned 1.5 points, C has earned 2.5 points, and D has earned 3.5 points. E has earned 0 points. And so under Copeland's method, D is the winner for this selection.